Hi, hello. So this is a follow-up from the previous video where we created an action from scratch. So it should have been the video 18. So this is a video 19, and this is a follow-up from 18. So we just created a view, a custom action. And well, you didn't miss anything. I just created an entry in the shell to go to my action, and I launched grunt here. So here, as you can see, I'm using grunt, but nothing has changed. The code is exactly the same. When I'm clicking on execute action, I'm getting this as input parameter, and I'm taking my input parameter, I'm appending hello world. So you didn't miss anything. So now it's a special use case where that someone asked on the BMC community, actually today, that gave me the idea to do it. And what Monica asked was, well, how to create a confirmation pop-up. So you've got two ways to do that, actually. You've got one that is out of the box, so you have to create a dialog yourself, so you don't need to code anything. It's totally codeless. You have another solution that is more coding using an object, a JavaScript object. So, and I found that it would be interesting to use it as an action, because when you think about it, for example, let's say I want to save this record editor. I want to display a confirmation pop-up. Do you really want to save it? Yes, no. And if you answer yes, I want to save it. And if you answer no, well, I'm not saving it. So the way actions are working is, if you remember in the previous video, it's synchronous, meaning that if testing action is successful, it will go to the next action in line. It's chained. If the testing action is not successful, the other action are not fired. So in my case, for example, I'm not going to save, but what I want to do is I'm going to display a message. So this one is a custom action that is in the sample library, but I'm going to display, here is a notification. And the type is success. So now I got three actions. The first one is going to call my custom action. The second one setting the output with the output from the action. And the last one is going to display something on screen just to show that there is something or not, that the chaining worked or not. So I'm going to refresh. I'm going to click on the button. And as you can see here, I got my notification, so the chaining works. So now what I want is, of course, to implement what Monica wanted, meaning my confirmation pop-up. So when I click on OK, I want to see my notification message, so continue my chaining. When I click on cancel, I don't want to continue. So let's see how we can do that. So we are going to in WebStorm, and what I'm going to do is, as I told Monica, we can use the dialogs object for that, which provide a confirm pop-up, so you don't need to code anything. So in my execute, what I want to do is that I want to make it successful when they click on OK, and I want to make them fail, but without error message when they click on cancel. So the way dialogs is working is, like I explained in the previous video, you need to return a promise in order to respect the chaining. So I'm going to and the good thing is dialogs is actually a promise. So return dialog. So I want to use a confirm object. My title will be warning. I'm going to use my input parameter as a message, and I'm going to use result. I'm going to use my promise. And here at this point, I will display a dialog confirm window pop-up with warning as a title and message as a message. And so I want, when I'm in a then, that means they clicked on OK. So since they clicked on OK, I want to return correct data. So I don't want to return an error. I just want to say, well, it went OK. In the output parameter. Now, how do I track the error in itself? So to track the error, I just need to do function And here in this one, if I am in this branch, that means the user will click on cancel. So in this case, I want to trigger an error. I don't want to send back a value. So the way we do that is we just use $q.reject, and we just remove this. So the way it's working is we are returning a dialogs, a confirm dialog. If I click on OK, I will return a result in the output parameter. If it's not OK, if they click on cancel, I just want to trigger an error. So this way I just stop everything in its track, and it should work. The following action should not continue. The action list, the action chaining should be broken. So my grunt is still working. You can see that when I was typing, it was changing everything. So let's see if it's working. So it should be actually refreshed. So what happens when I click on execute action? I've got my confirmation dialog. My name is no, which is the input. When I click on OK, I map it went OK inside the output, and I got my notification message. So I'm going to reload it again to empty the output parameter. And this time I'm going to click on cancel. So I want to break the chaining. And as you can see, I don't have anything in output, and I didn't have a notification message. So to answer Monica, she could have done using out-of-the-box solution, or she could have done it this way, coding custom action. So it's both ways have their pros and cons. So in the next video, I will actually show you we can do pretty much the same thing using totally codeless, so you can compare. But for this video, this is done.